Jazz Public School welcomes you all. The beginning is from where you begin. Begin today, begin now. Focus your energies in being an architect of your future. We are proud to deliver you lectures from this innovative technique. So, in today's session, we are going to learn about refining of metals and application of metals. Extraction of aluminium. So why the aluminum metal is important? Because it is highly reactive, the reactivity series, and then the bonds of the compounds are very strong. Aluminum can be extracted only by electrolysis process. The raw materials used in this extraction of aluminum are aluminum oxide and then cryolite. So now let us see how we can extract the aluminum metal. So extraction of aluminium, it is called as Hall-Hérold process. And then carbon anodes as well as carbon lining as cathodes are used. And then molten aluminium oxide and cryolite are used as a electrolytic solution. And then molten aluminium we can get it out. Okay, what is this Hall-Hérold process? So in this Hall-Hérold process, electrolysis is carried out in an iron tank linked with the carbon. This carbon is only acting as a carbon cathode. You can see in this diagram carbon cathode. And then carbon blocks immersed in the electrolyte which can be used as a anode. So carbon block is used as a cathode and then the carbon blocks which is immersed in the electrolyte are used as a anode. And then 20% of alumina which is obtained from the bauxite ore, it can be easily mixed with the molten cryolite and this is taken in a electrolysis chamber. So calcium chloride is also added to this solution. So what is the purpose of this calcium chloride? Calcium chloride helps to lower the melting point of the mixture. So the fused mixture is maintained at the temperature above 1270 Kelvin. So what are the reactions involved in this Hall-Hérold process? We can see this in the above diagram. So the cathode reaction, cathode is always proceed with the reduction and then anode is always proceeding with the oxidation reaction. So that's what the reaction we have shown here. And then the next one is refining process. So what are all the refining techniques? Distillation, liquefaction, electrolytic refining, zone refining, and then vapor phase method. In vapor phase method, there are two methods. One is Mann's process, another one is Van Orkel method. So first of all, let us start with the distillation method. So distillation method, it is employed for low boiling volatile metals. Low boiling volatile metals means which can easily evaporate. So it is used for low boiling volatile metals like zinc and mercury. And then the metal is easily heated to evaporate and the vapors are condensed to get pure metal. We know that evaporation means the solid material can be or a liquid material, not a solid, liquid material can be uh, change over to a vapor by means of heating and then this vapors on condensation or on cooling it will be converted back to its metal. This is what called as distillation. So for this distillation, diagram is not given in your book, so you can refer this diagram. There is a round bottom flask, as you know, which is present with the Liebig condenser. The condenser, there are two things. One is inlet, another one is outlet. So inlet is connecting with the water pipe, and then the outlet can be with the sink. So, what is the purpose of this Liebig condenser? This condenser makes the molecule or the vapor molecules to be cool. So, by cooling only, the vapors are converted into a liquid. So, you can understand very well. The low boiling liquids are taken in a round bottom flask. They are heated. By this heating, they are changed over into a vapor. By this vapor, on condensation, they are changed into a liquid. So this distilled liquid is a pure metal now. So what is the next process? Liquefaction. Liquefaction, it is employed to Remove the impurities with high melting points from the metals having relatively low melting points. If I have a mixture of low melting point and the high melting point of impurities, the high melting point of impurities can be removed. So the process is called as liquefaction. So some of the metals and their melting points are given here. Tin 904 Kelvin and lead 600 Kelvin, mercury 234 Kelvin, bismuth 545 Kelvin. So this can be heated to form a fusible liquid. So fusible means melting, easily melting, and this is allowed to flow on a sloping surface. This can be you can compare this with the gravity separation. Gravity separation, we have learned that sloping surface, isn't it? In the same way, in the liquefaction also, the fusible liquid is allowed to flow on a sloping surface. And then this impure metal is placed on a sloping earth of a furnace and it is heated just above the melting point of the metal in the absence of air. So the molten pure metal flows down and the impurities left behind. So the molten metal is collected and then solidified. So this also you can see this diagram and you can understand. So first of all, impure metal is taken in a chamber and then sloping earth. Sloping earth means nothing but it is a slanting place, slanting surface. And then by this slanting surface, the impurities are present in the slanting surface itself. And then on heating by the furnace, refractory furnace, we can get the pure metal alone. So the next one is electrolytic refining. So in this electrolytic refining method, we need electrolytic cell, anode, cathode, and then electrolytic solution. So anode is always a impure metal rod, cathode is always a pure metal rod. And then this less electropositive impurities, it will be present as such settle down at the bottom. This is what called as anode mud. This anode mud is very important in the electrolytic refining process. Next one is how this electrolytic refining of silver occurs. So as I said now, the impure metal of silver is taken as a anode and then the pure metal silver is taken as a cathode. It is connected with a battery or any power source we can say. The silver nitrate solution with the nitric acid combination is taken as a electrolytic solution. Once the electrolysis starts, then the pure metal can be settled. So what is the reaction at the anode? Anode always proceeds with the oxidation. Oxidation means the loss of electron. So the silver metal, it is converted into silver ion by losing one electron. And then the reaction at cathode, it is always with the reduction. So reduction proceeds with the gain of electron. Ag plus is the reverse of this reaction actually. So the Ag plus with one electron, it is converted into Ag, silver metal. And the next process is zone refining process. So zone refining process, it is mainly based on the principle is based on the fractional crystallization. So the impure metal in a form of a rod and then one end of the rod will be heated by using a mobile induction heater. Mobile induction heater is nothing but it is slowly moved to go in and to and fro of the heater. That is what called as using mobile induction heater. So in the next diagram you can see that when the heater is slowly moved to the other end, pure metal crystallizes, whereas the impurities will move on to the adjacent molten zone. So this is the picture. It actually implies the heater. This heater is known as a roller actually, so that it can move from the impurities to the purity. So impure metals will be settled out one end and the pure crystal we can get at the another end. This is one more diagram, the circular heater. That's why it is called as a circular heater. So circular heater, always the impurities, here we have mentioned the direction of flow of impurities also. So the impurities will go to the one end of the rod, metal rod, and then the pure metal will comes to the another end of the rod. The last method is vapor phase method. Vapor phase method, the metal is treated with the suitable reagent which can form a volatile compound with metal. So volatile compound is decomposed to give a pure compound. So this is very easy. First of all, we are mixing a metal with the suitable reagent. so that it forms a volatile compound, and then this volatile compound decomposes to give pure metal. Okay, Mond's process, it is for nickel. When the nickel is, impure nickel is treated with carbonyl compound or carbon monoxide at 330 to 350 Kelvin, it forms nickel tetracarbonyl. Once again, this nickel tetracarbonyl on decomposition, it forms a pure nickel with the 4 molecules of carbon monoxide. Next method is Van Arkel method. It is also based on the thermal decomposition of metal compounds which lead to the formation of pure metals. So by this Van Arkel method, titanium and zirconium can be purified. So the equations of this Van Arkel method, titanium which is impure and then it is treated with 2 molecules of iodine, it forms a titanium tetraiodide. At 1700 Kelvin, it is converted into titanium and iodine. And then zirconium, which is treated with 2 molecules of iodine to form zirconium tetraiodide, and then at 1800 Kelvin it forms zirconium, and then with the liberation of 2 molecules of iodine. Next one is applications of metals. So for aluminium, silver, gold, copper, iron, for all these metals we have to see the applications. So aluminium, it can be used in the heat exchangers as well as cooking vessels also. The important use of this aluminium is duralumin. This duralumin is an alloy. We know that it is mainly used in the aircraft parts. So in the making of aircraft parts, it is useful, and then it is a good electrical conductor also. Application of zinc, it is mainly used in the galvanization as well as it is used in the paints, rubbers and cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, plastics also, and then it is highly resistant to corrosion. Application of iron alloys, it can be used as a bridge, electricity pylons, so bicycle chains also, it is very important. And then stainless steel. So this stainless steel, it is used for the architecture, bearings, cutleries, and then surgical instruments and jewelries also it is useful. Applications of copper, bronze, making coins, and then ornaments along with the gold. So along with the gold, some amount of copper is always mixed. Making wires, water pipes and electrical parts. Applications of gold, we know that it is mainly used for jewelry purpose, electroplating, and then gold nanoparticles, it increases the efficiency of solar cells and catalyst also. So with this, we have completed the whole first lesson, metallurgy. So you can subscribe all those videos and make your quarantine period as useful as possible. Thank you, students.